Hey everybody, so as you know now, it's all over. Dave Kaval will resign from his post as president of the Oakland Athletics on the 31st of December. And he has said that he is going to pursue or get involved in projects that represent the intersection of business and government in California, indicating he wants to stay in California, stay at home in the West Bay, not too far from Stanford, and I would think lead into retirement. He's 49 years old. He got the stadium project where it needs to be, the Ballpark project in Las Vegas I'm talking about. The non-relocation agreement is signed, which means all of the necessary documents are put to bed. The schedule for the purchase of materials for the ballpark has already been underway. It will end by about 4 months from now, less than that, and we'll have groundbreaking, and off they go. So if you look at it very blankly, Dave Kaval has done his job. He has done the job that he was hired to do. When I met him in 2017, I was invited to the athletics press conference at the West Side Club of the Coliseum, thanks to my good friend Chris Dobbins, longtime Oakland A's fan. And one of the things that Dave told me right then and there was that he had to raise $400 million to build a platform over the Coliseum to deal with the matter of sea level rise. So this is a person who is really solidly focused on sports development. Now, his departure from the A's comes at a crossroads. He's already involved in negotiating on behalf of the Athletics with respect to the sale of the Athletics land to AASEG. He's still involved in that. To this day, he is still involved in that. He undoubtedly sees that since this is wrapped up, and maybe John Fisher is thinking, I'd like you to really pay more attention to this and get it off the ground, because there might be some development opportunities for us. I've said this before. When I first posited that the A's could be their savior, that their development opportunities for the Athletics they're leaving behind, if they focus in terms of properties on just, the Vegas opportunity, which is huge, no question about it. But they have enough bandwidth to do both. So since Sandy has been involved, Alexander Park has been involved in arguably heading up the effort to get the stadium from its legislative position to opening and construction completion in Las Vegas. Dave can focus on doings in the Bay Area. I would think maybe his wife doesn't want to live in Las Vegas. They've got a great life where they're at. They are, as I understand, pretty much empty nesters, and with some exceptions. But I don't want to get too far in putting his personal business out there. But the point I'm making is that Dave has a perfect set of reasons to want to stick behind. I don't think it has anything to do with any rancor with John Fisher. I think it purely has to do with what is out there that is best for him at this time, after spending 8 years getting this off the ground and seeing it to where it's, where it's going to go. Dave was brought in really more to get the stadium done than to run the baseball organization. And I don't think it's that he didn't want to. And he's done a good job of it under the circumstances. Really, I think you think about it, you take the emotional blinders off, he has actually done a fantastic job. And so, for a set of reasons, I believe that he and John figured, hey, you're of better value over here than in Las Vegas. He elected to resign, and I will bet you that he winds up becoming, I'm going to just throw this out there, I think he winds up becoming the CEO of AASEG with Ray Bobbitt as the chairperson. And that way, Dave Kaval can represent a face that's better suited to deal with some of the issues that Ray is dealing with, which Ray will tell you is outside his scope, okay? And with Loop Capital involved, which has a lot of money in this project and is capable of adding a lot more, you want a Dave Kaval at the helm to send credibility, certainty, and capacity to the markets, to vendors, to, well, pretty much everybody in sports that they intend to get done the matter of bringing sports back to Oakland in a big way. I really believe that's what Dave is thinking about. And because he's already involved with AASEG and he can maintain a great relationship with John Fisher from that perspective, I think that's what's going on. And look, if they deny it, then it opens up a lot of questions. The question is, okay, so what's the staffing future of AASEG look like moving forward? Since Ray is not the person to run it as a day-to-day operation as a developer through its future, his background doesn't, allow for the kind of learning on the job that they don't need to go through at this point. But Ray is in a perfect position to be the spiritual head, the founder, the overseer, the chairman of the board of directors. Dave Kaval is a better person to serve the role in the role of CEO, should he choose to do so. On top of that, the City of Oakland and the County of Alameda want to wind down the Joint Powers Authority and appropriately turn it over to AASEG. And the way that they're doing it is a little clumsy. It's kind of like, hey, we're going to make sure we get some money out of this, and we're going to make sure our end's taken care of, but we kind of don't really care about your end. So AASEG needs somebody that's involved enough to, quote, care about its end, unquote, and make sure the business of growing this new corporate development company and this new development concern is done properly. And Dave Kaval certainly fits the bill of somebody who can do that. And he said the intersection of business and government. Well, if he's the CEO of AASEG, what better example right now of the intersection of business and government is there than that in California? I can't think of one. And the others are, well, and if you take another look at it, the Joint Powers Authority Coliseum that's to wind down after, I believe, the 26th of February 2026 is at the intersection of business and government. And yet it's winding down, but the operations and uses at the Coliseum become under the watchful eye of AASEG, a private organization. So you need a Dave Kaval at the helm to work with the organization that provides for the event services, which is ASM Global. They're very familiar with ASM. They know ASM Global like the back of their hand. What better person to work with than Dave Kaval? So as I look at it, that Dave Kaval would stick around in the Bay Area and be involved in an executive role at AASEG, even as executive consultant, makes a heck of a lot of sense. And again, if they deny it's not the case, then it opens up other questions. Like, for example, okay, who's running AASEG right now? And what is AASEG staffing going to look like in the next 5 years? And can that staff configuration get the job done? If they have Dave Kaval involved, guess what? That question is answered. Or it's a good starting answer. All right? And again, I say to you, Dave is still involved in the conversation. He's still talking to Ray Bobbitt, still communicating everything else. So it's a logical development. It's a logical development. Those of you who are saying, well, he made this mistake and that mistake, Dave Kaval knows a lot of the right people. So what, I'm just being very blunt, what a casual fan has to say in this instance is not anyone's first concern within the industry. Dave has proven he can get these projects off the ground. That's enough said. That's all he needs to do, and he's done that. So, again, watch carefully. It would not surprise me to see him come up in this area. It'd be great for him. It would be great for AASEG. It would be great for the Fisher family, which has a fantastic relationship with Dave Kaval. It would be great for the county of Alameda. It would be great all the way around. It's just a doggone good idea. So there you go. There's my take on the matter. And I'll, as it unfolds, give you more thoughts about it. But again, my assertion is that Dave Kaval will become involved with the African American Sports Entertainment Group, and its holding company, and in an executive role, perhaps CEO, perhaps executive consultant, something like that. But I think CEO makes a lot of sense. AASEG needs to firm up what exactly its corporate structure is going to look like beyond the LLC anyway. I think C Corp's a better choice myself. Delaware. All right. So subscribe to Zenny62 on YouTube and bookmark OaklandNewsOnline.com.